wiggle. Yeah.
So bad.
So it's causing autopilot to go crazy too.
We've been dealing with a lot of tiller slop for a few years now. It's probably one of the reasons we've had issues with the tiller pilot, and we bought a new autopilot and it wasn't working correctly, so we thought that maybe replacing the tiller head would help. It didn't, but that's a story for another day. The only problem with replacing the tiller head was we weren't sure how we were going to be able to get the old one off. Andy's first thought was to just cut the head off, which was fine until he broke a third cutting wheel in less than 3 minutes. Plan B was to cut the pin head and hammer it out with a pick, which worked much better. I'm gonna hook it back in and then pull it off.
Wiggle the tiller.
Built-in lever. Hang on. Oh, look at that. So it come right off. Yay!
Old one. New one. Just slightly bigger.
So much beefier. This makes me feel really happy, especially after seeing how bad that one is.
Look how thin it is too. But this one actually fits nicely. And it's nicely machined. Made in Maine. So this is a 1-inch shaft to fit the 1-inch bore to fit the 1-inch rudder shaft.
Okay.
And this, unlike the old one that just had a bolt drilled through it, this one's set up for a keyway. So there's that groove in there. And I got this piece of key stock, and that fits inside the groove.
But does it?
Yeah, it's just a tight fit because it needs to be a tight fit. Might have to sand it a little bit to make it fit. So I got this piece of key stock that fits inside that groove. Then I'm going to have to make a corresponding groove in the back of the rudder shaft for it to mate into. So then when we turn the rudder, it's this keyway that makes everything turn together, not the tension of this bolt.
And there's forces keeping everything together with this pinch bolt, right?
Yeah, so this pinch bolt pinches this onto top of the rudder shaft, and that's what holds the rudder, the tiller stock on.
And then you have the screw back here that holds everything onto the keyway.
Yeah, and there's another bolt here that pushes on the keyway to keep it tight inside the groove on the rudder shaft itself.
Okay.
It just prevents slop.
Gotcha.
It's a nice design.
So it has way more points to deal with the torque than our previous setup did.
Previous setup had a pin. It's probably 3/16 pin. It went through there. Went through a hole in the rudder shaft.
And then it had the bolt.
And then it had this bolt that threaded into the rudder shaft. And that's what prevented it from spinning. But unfortunately, looking at it, it looks like it was kind of wobbling a little bit. Got this one from Spartan Marine because I read on the Alberg 30 email list that a lot of people have gotten the one from Edson, and they said it has just as much slop as the old one. So I decided to get the one from Spartan. And they were super nice and sent me all the drawings and blueprints for this so I could make sure it would work for my application.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, and they were cheaper than the Edson one anyway.
Now we just had to cut a slot for the key stock to sit on the rudder shaft and put it all back together. I can't tell you what a difference this has made in our steering. It is so much smoother and there's no slop anymore. It's great. This was the last major project we tackled before we started south. Next time, we leave Lake Champlain and head for the Hudson through the Champlain canals.